Okay, so y'all remember the guy, Muzammel, that I played in my last video, right? The brother that I beat in 5 moves. I beat him in 5 moves. Well, last time I was white, so I had kind of like a slight advantage. You know, it's always an advantage moving first, because you get to set the tone of the game when you move. When you white, when you get to move first. So, you know, he asked for a rematch, and I decided to give him a rematch, give him a chance to redeem himself, and I let him be white this time, and let him get the privilege of moving first, and I was black. And this is how the game played out. He moved his pawn to b3. I always move my pawns up first to e4 or e5 if I'm playing black. Always like to get my pieces out to the center of the board. I like to dominate the center of the board, because if you dominate the center of the board, then you put yourself at an advantage, because it'll be hard for your opponents to attack, because as you see here, I'm defending this square right here. That's b4 with my bishop, d4 with my bishop and my pawn, and f4 with my pawn. So, you know, you make it hard for your opponent to attack or launch an attack, because you're defending so many of the center squares. So he threatens my pawn there on e5 with his knight, and I protect it with the queen. He then moves his knight down to d5, and I made a dumbass move. That wasn't the move that I meant to make. You know, I do that in a couple of my games where I just slip up and make stupid moves. I mean, I really have to work on that, because I'm getting a lot better at chess, and I know how to make the right moves. I know what to do in order to win the game. But somehow, you know, even with athletes, basketball players, football players, everybody, we're humans, we make mistakes. But I tend to make too many mistakes. So I have to be more cautious, because when I decide to play in tournaments, you know, and I play against real good players, they're going to capitalize. They're going to capitalize on those mistakes. They're not going to let you get away with mistakes like this. He brings his knight down, and I was like, damn, man, I really fucked up. I move my king over, and he takes my rook instead of taking my queen. Why? I have no fucking clue. He could have took my queen right there, but he didn't do it. So, you know, he's a good player, and, you know, he did say that, wow, I didn't even fucking see that. You know, so he made a mistake as well. So we both made mistakes, but his mistake cost him, and mine didn't. So he took a rook, and I threatened his knight. He moved his knight down and threatened my queen, and I moved my queen up to f5, and he moved his knight up to h3. I wanted to get this pawn up, because I see a checkmate right here on f7, but I can't move my queen right there to f7. Hold up, f7? No, not f7. f2. f2. Right here. I see a checkmate on f2, but I can't move my queen up there because his knight is in the way. So what I do is I move my pawn up, threatening his knight again. He moves his knight back, and that's exactly what I needed him to do. Thanks a lot, motherfucker. Checkmate. Again. Beat him again. There's nothing better than beating a man 2 times in a row. You know, you may beat him the first time, and they may think, oh, you know, you just lucked up. Well, I bust your ass 2 times in a row. So what's the excuse you got? You know what I mean? So, you know, it ain't no excuse. I'm just a better player. I'm a stronger player. I make the more intelligent moves. And I overall just was too good for him. You know. So, yeah, that was checkmate. Last time I beat him in 5 moves, but this time I beat him in 10 moves, which is fairly, that's still pretty pretty fast. You know, I beat him. I didn't waste no time, you know, taking him out. So yeah, I just wanted to show y'all my games versus Muzammel. My first game and my second game. You seen part 1 where I beat him in the first game in 5 moves, and then, you know, this time around I beat him in 10 moves. But he's a good player. He's a decent player. I seen him play before. He's pretty decent, pretty strong player. But I think the moves that I make just really, especially in the first game, it kind of confused him, and he got a little bewildered and a little, you know, baffled by the moves that I made, and that I think made him make not so good moves, because my moves was really confusing him, and then, you know, that really benefited me. So that's pretty much it. Peace.